Do we genuinely have free will, or is it merely an illusion? This question has served as a muse for philosophers, psychologists, and scientists for countless centuries, sparking debates that have left us pondering our own autonomy. The paradox of free will is an enigma that dances at the edges of our everyday lives, subtly influencing our decisions and actions. Now consider two polar views on this matter. On one hand, we have determinism, which proposes that our actions are simply the domino effect of previously existing causes, a predestined path, if you will. On the other hand, we have indeterminism, which challenges this view by suggesting that events are not caused deterministically. In this view, our actions are not bound by the chains of causality, allowing for the existence of free will. As we venture into this controversial topic, remember, there are no right or wrong answers, only perspectives. Historically, philosophers have been at the forefront of debating free will. The philosophical world has been a battleground, with free will as a recurring subject of contention. Take existentialism, for instance. This school of thought, championed by thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre, strongly advocates for the concept of free will. Existentialists argue that we are free agents, making our own choices and carving our own paths in life. They believe that our existence precedes our essence. In other words, we are born without a predetermined nature or purpose, and it's up to us to define who we are. According to existentialists, we are the authors of our own lives, and our free will is the pen we use to write our story. Now let's pivot to a dramatically different perspective, that of hard determinists. Hard determinists, like Baron d'Holbach, argue that every event in the universe, including our own actions, is determined by preceding events. They contend that what we perceive as free will is merely an illusion, and our choices are fundamentally shaped by factors beyond our control, such as our genetics, our upbringing, and the environment we live in. In essence, hard determinists believe that we are puppets dangling from the strings of causality, with our every move choreographed by the dance of atoms and energy. But what if we could reconcile these two opposing views? Enter compatibilism, a philosophical stance that suggests determinism and free will can coexist. Compatibilists like David Hume argue that our actions can be both determined and free. They believe that free will is not about the ability to do otherwise, but about acting in accordance with our own desires and motivations. So even if our desires are shaped by prior causes, we still act freely when we act in line with them. Compatibilists see us not as puppets, but as puppeteers who are, in turn, influenced by the stage on which we perform. These philosophical perspectives offer fascinating ways to interpret free will. From the existentialists' assertion of our autonomy, to the hard determinists' insistence on the inexorable march of cause and effect, to the compatibilists' attempt to bridge the gap between the two. Each perspective invites us to reflect on our own sense of agency and the forces that shape our lives. Yet, despite centuries of philosophical inquiry, the question remains, do we truly have free will, or is it just an illusion? Even as we delve into these philosophical perspectives, we find no definitive answers, only more questions. While philosophy offers us various perspectives, it's clear that the debate is far from settled. From the realm of ideas, let's shift to the realm of the mind. In the world of psychology, the concept of free will takes a fascinating turn. You see, while we like to believe that our conscious decisions shape our actions, psychologists suggest that our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors might be more influenced by unconscious processes than we realize. This perspective is supported by numerous studies in the field of cognitive psychology, which delve into the depths of subconscious decision-making. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself reaching for that last slice of pizza, or pressing the snooze button on your alarm before you even consciously decided to do so? That's your subconscious mind at work, making decisions before your conscious mind has a chance to weigh in. One such research study demonstrated that participants' brains made a decision about when to move their fingers several hundred milliseconds before the participants were consciously aware of making that decision. This suggests that our subconscious mind might be pulling the strings of our actions, while our conscious mind merely observes and rationalizes these actions after the fact. Similarly, the illusion of control, a cognitive bias where we overestimate our ability to control events, adds another layer to this psychological perspective on free will. This illusion makes us believe that we have more control over our lives and our actions than we actually do. For instance, we might feel like we're in control when we're driving a car, but in reality, numerous external factors like road conditions, traffic, and the behavior of other drivers are beyond our control. In essence, Our minds might be creating a comforting illusion of free will, allowing us to feel in control and responsible for our actions, when in reality, a large portion of our behavior might be governed by subconscious processes and external factors. This doesn't necessarily negate the concept of free will, but it certainly adds complexity to it. Our minds might be playing tricks on us, making us believe we have more control than we truly do. Scene script: science might hold some unexpected answers to our question. Quantum mechanics, the enigmatic and surreal world of subatomic particles, has an interesting notion that could potentially challenge deterministic views. It introduces randomness at a fundamental level, a concept which is not only strange but also fascinatingly profound. Let's think of a subatomic particle, say an electron. According to quantum mechanics, we cannot predict with absolute certainty where this electron will be at a given time. Instead, we can only calculate probabilities. This inherent uncertainty, this fundamental randomness, is in stark contrast to deterministic views, which suggest everything in the universe follows set laws and can be predicted with enough knowledge. This quantum randomness opens up a curious possibility. What if our thoughts, our decisions, are not just the result of deterministic processes in our brains, but also influenced by quantum events? Could this randomness be the source of our free will? This idea, known as quantum mind theory, is controversial and still very much in the realm of speculation, but it's a tantalizing thought, isn't it? Now let's switch gears and delve into the world of neuroscience. Recent research in this field suggests something that might seem counterintuitive at first. It appears that our brain makes decisions before we become conscious of them. This challenges traditional notions of free will. Neuroscientists have conducted experiments where they monitor a participant's brain activity while they make a simple decision, like pressing a button. What they found is quite surprising. Brain activity ramps up before the participant reports making a conscious decision. Some interpret this as evidence that our decisions are not products of conscious free will, but rather are predetermined by unconscious brain activity. But wait, it's not all gloom and doom for free will. Some argue that this doesn't necessarily negate free will. Instead, it might just mean that our understanding of free will needs to be redefined. Perhaps our unconscious mind, with its vast processing power, is part of our free will. Maybe we're not just passive observers of our thoughts, but active participants in a complex interplay of conscious and unconscious processes. In this light, free will might not be an illusion after all, but something much more nuanced and complex. It's no longer a simple binary choice of free will versus determinism, but a fascinating spectrum of possibilities. To sum it up, quantum mechanics introduces a level of randomness that challenges deterministic views, and neuroscience research suggests that our decisions may be made before we're conscious of them. Both of these scientific perspectives offer tantalizing insights and add another layer of complexity to our understanding of free will. Science adds another layer of complexity to our understanding of free will. The question of free will is as old as time and continues to baffle us. As we've explored, the paradox of free will is a conundrum that has challenged thinkers throughout history. Philosophically, we've grappled with determinism and libertarianism, each offering a unique lens through which to view this enigma. From a psychological standpoint, we've considered how our perceived autonomy influences our behaviors and decisions. And in the realm of quantum mechanics and neuroscience, we've discovered that the answer may lie somewhere in the interplay of our brain's intricate wiring and the unpredictable behavior of particles. What remains clear is this: the concept of free will is complex and multifaceted. It's not a simple yes or no question, but rather a deep and intricate exploration of what it means to be a conscious being. Whether we truly have free will or if it's just an illusion, it's clear that our understanding of it has profound implications for how we view ourselves and our place in the universe.